Namaste, this is your chef Aarti Sampath, and today is a very exciting and very heart-filling episode. Today we are celebrating Dassehra. Dassehra is this amazing festival that is celebrated over 9 days. Common message is good over evil. What I love about Dassehra is it brings together what I truly believe in, strong women power, and that's why Goddess Durga is emphasized in this festival. And to celebrate Dassehra, we always cook a lot of sweetmeats and delicious things. And today we're making 3 different recipes, very simple and very tasty. This is how I celebrate Dassehra. So come, let's get started. All right, so we're first going to start off with this amazing chickpea dish called Sundal that is traditionally made in the morning of Dassehra. We're going to start off by cracking open this coconut and getting the flesh out. The best way to break open a coconut is to first give it a good wash, take off most of the fibers, clean the coconut as much as you can, and you will notice that it has 3 ridges. So you want to take your mallet or a very heavy object and crack right in the middle of the coconut, literally on those lines. So you see it's cracked right in the middle, and then you just turn it around. Make sure you have a bowl underneath to collect the nectar, and voila, cracked in half. This tiny equipment is a handheld coconut scraper, usually used in southern India. Of course, you can use a grater by just pulling out the flesh, but I wanted to try my hand at this. Mom's holding it tight for me, so oh God, this is not easy. To start off with our chickpea sundal, we want to heat our pan to pretty high heat. We want the pan to be pretty hot. I'm using virgin coconut oil. You can also use sesame oil, you can use ghee, clarified butter, you can use butter as well. I have some mustard seeds which I'm going to crackle. Once the coconut oil is pretty hot, I'm throwing in my mustard seeds. Mustard seeds are super nutty, and once you've seen them turning a little white, we'll add a chili, and then I'm adding, you can use 2 cans of chickpeas, but these are ones that I cooked myself. They've been soaked overnight and boiled. And then very important is curry leaves. At least 10-15 leaves. Give that a good stir. Half a teaspoon of Himalayan salt. The aroma of sundal is always a Dassehra memory. And of course, the most important ingredient, a freshly scraped coconut. All right, now for the best part, tasting. Those super creamy, tender chickpeas are just coated with tons of coconut oil, that fresh coconut, mustard seeds, a little heat from the chili. That curry leaf just takes me back home. I just love this dish. It's so simple and so tasty. To start off with our creamy rice pudding, we're using half a liter of whole milk, as much cream as you can get. We're heating it up to medium heat. And I'm going to add a couple of pieces of cardamom. I just like to crush it slightly before I add it in. To just release the seeds and the aroma. Cardamom is that fragrance of luxury. And it's so traditional to use that in all our sweets. So if you don't want to use whole milk, you could of course use coconut milk because it's also rich in fat. The way we do rice pudding is we like to reduce milk to 3/4 of its volume. So we'll just let it go for a little bit. While the milk is constantly reducing, you want to stir it constantly and make sure you scrape the sides. That's what makes all those creamy condensed bits is what makes the rice pudding nice, creamy. It's literally a 3 or 4 ingredient recipe. Once the milk is condensed, we're adding our rice. So I have 1/4 of a cup of Bora rice. This is a very traditional indigenous Assamese rice. It is glutenous. This has still a lot of bran if you see, so it's really good for you and it cooks very easily. Perfect for dessert, rather for rice pudding. So we're just going to allow this to reduce for another 20 minutes. Yes, one thing about rice pudding is you can't just let it be. You have to just keep stirring it. Wow, after 20 minutes, I can see that the rice has cooked. It's cooked all the way. The rice pudding is looking nice and creamy. I love using glutenous rice because it makes the rice pudding a lot more creamy. It cooks evenly. So if you can't find Bora rice, of course you can use arborio. You can use jasmine rice. Any short grain starchy rice would really help. Once you see that it's coating the back of a spoon, you know your rice pudding is ready. To sweeten it, I turn off the heat and then I'm adding palm sugar or jaggery. You can of course use brown sugar if you like. I love using palm sugar because it's just rich in so many minerals. It's got this caramelized taste and a little goes a long way. Just gonna mix it through. And now I'm adding just a pinch of salt because salt always brings out the flavor of anything sweet. I can't wait. I really want to give this a taste. Oh my God. It's so creamy. The rice is like overcooked, you know, it's so mushy and it just has absorbed all that sugar, the taste of the cardamom, and that jaggery's got that mellow caramel flavor. Just gorgeous. Now that we've completed our rice pudding, we're going to jump on to another rice-based dish. It's made with puffed rice. It's called Poryorinde in Tamil. It's puffed rice with a lot of palm sugar, a touch of cardamom, maybe a little coconut oil and ghee. It's sort of like marshmallow crispy treats. It's sort of like that. It's like a crispy treat. And let me show you my version. So to get started, heat a pan to medium heat. I'm using a little bit of clarified butter or ghee, a splash of coconut oil, and then I'm adding my palm sugar. This variety of palm sugar is mostly used for Indian confectionery. It's a little more refined. You can of course use sugar, and we'll just allow it to caramelize a little bit. Any sort of palm sugar will work here. We have to melt it at a low temperature. Just with any sugar product, you do not want to stir it. So we'll just allow it to do its job. Let it melt absolutely slowly. And once it's completely melted, we'll add our puffed rice. You can easily find puffed rice at an Indian grocery store, and of course, you can use Rice Crispy treats as well. Once I'm seeing that my palm sugar is almost melted, I'm just adding a pinch of cardamom. This is cardamom powder that's been slightly dry roasted, and then you could use a blend, you could use a mixer, or just pound it in a traditional mortar and pestle. We're going to bring up the palm sugar to hard ball consistency. And the best way to find out if it's reached hard boil consistency is to pour a drop in cold water. I'm checking if my palm sugar is ready. Oh wow, you see that it's set immediately. That's when you know your confectionery is going to be ready. Adding my puffed rice. Once you see that your puffed rice is completely coated with the sugar, I add a small pinch of salt. Salt always enhances the taste of sweet goods. And then I have a greased plate. I've greased the plate with some coconut oil. Allow it to cool for 2 minutes, and while it's still warm, we can make little balls, or you can even just push it down the plate and allow it to cool completely. But I like balls, so I'm going to do that. At this point, it's going to be really hot. So you want it to cool until you can handle. Let's have my first one. Poriurundes are so versatile. You can use a lot of nuts. You could just make them completely with peanuts and sesame. Well, it's almost like a brittle. It's basically a brittle, but with better sugar. Almost ready. It is a little torturous at this point. I can barely feel my fingers, but it's just worth it. Well, I hope you liked all these 3 dishes. I hope you enjoyed the recipes, and I hope you will try them. And please like and subscribe to Chef Aarti Sampath. Thank you so much, and happy Dassehra.